Hi again everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So this video is a bit of a look at a stock that was mentioned in the comments the other day in one of my other videos. It is a stock that I haven't looked at before, that being Nano Dimension Limited, or ticker symbol NNDM. There has been a lot of talk around the stock that it could be in for a bit of a boom coming up, with some on Reddit suggesting that it could rally to as high as $20 per share, coming from around the $3.50 mark at the moment. So that leads me to ask the question, what is Nano Dimension and what catalyst or catalysts are perhaps going to be behind this potential run? Well, Nano Dimension is a 3D printing company based in Israel. They are unique compared to their peers in the sense that they both sell their own 3D printers, namely the Dragonfly Lights Out digital manufacturing system, as well as offering 3D printing as a service. The company's had a few key acquisitions recently. These include eSemitic and Global Inkjet Systems. Both acquisitions complement the existing services Nano Dimension offers and contribute greatly to their R&D program. Now, what has got the markets talking quite a bit about the stock is that Nano Dimension looks to emerge as a potential solution in arms manufacturing. Basically, their 3D printers can be programmed to create components of weapons, and what has got people excited about this is that given the global supply chain bottlenecks, as well as the current war in Ukraine, there could be a bit of a boom in business for the company. What has also got punters a little excited is that the stock appears to be oversold. If we are to look at this weekly chart, we can see that since the late 2001, the Relative Strength Index, or RSI, has reflected perhaps an extended period of the stock being oversold. This narrative is also present in the fact that the stock has clung to the bottom of the Bollinger Bands for this same period, and that the stock price has stayed beneath the various weighted moving averages for this period of time. So there's definitely some historical trading data there here that suggests the stock may indeed be oversold. Now, interestingly, if we switch to a daily chart, we can see that there has been a technical reversal in the MACD indicator, which has been reflected in this recent rally the stock has experienced. So there are signs that there are some growing enthusiasm for the stock, and that is perhaps why we have seen the stock go on a 5-day rally in recent history. And moving on to the financials, when you factor in that the company has had its best year for revenue in 2021, hitting about $10 million in sales, something which came as a bit of a shock to the market following 2 years of struggle for the company, particularly in the early part of the pandemic. Now that moves me to the question, can the stock actually get to $20 as some are suggesting? Well, historically, Nano Dimension has actually gotten to as high as the $17 mark previously, but as we can see, that was a short-lived rally and the stock has very much been on a steady decline since then. And when you look back at what was behind the previous rally, there doesn't appear to have been much in the way of solid company news at the time, making me think it may very well have been a target of some sort of short squeeze or just got caught up in the early meme mania. If someone does know what drove that particular rally, please let me know in the comments below, because for me personally, I'm not fully aware of what was behind this crazy rally that the stock experienced at that point in time. Anyway, some are suggesting that the stock is primed to really capitalize on this current situation as countries look for ways to become autonomous with arms manufacturing in a global setting of high tension. This is hard to confirm, however, at least based on the present state of the business. In their latest investor presentation back in February, Nano Dimension only named the US military as an existing customer using their systems for defensive purposes. Nano Dimension have got sales all through the world, but it is only the USA that has been flagged for military purposes. Interestingly, when you look at a map, you can see that their systems have been sold globally, including in and around Europe and Russia, so it is hard to say what those particular systems are being used for currently. Nano Dimension has not actually made a statement regarding sanctions. They have perhaps remained tight-lipped given that they have made sales to both sides of the current conflict. Things get a little more interesting when you view the pipeline of their R&D program. This program has flagged to release a military-specific 3D printing system as part of their next stage of the R&D growth strategy. It will be interesting to see if some governments do try to restrict where Nano Dimensions can make sales of this new system in the future. Based on the rest of the growth plan, it is clear that Nano Dimension are moving even more into the military space, which is perhaps what has got the markets really excited. There doesn't appear to be a date for the next system to be released, and that is what makes me question what is the horizon for the stock hitting $20 that people are thinking. I believe the stock would receive a real boost at the moment if they were to make public that the new system is now available, and perhaps it is an impending announcement of this nature that punters are speculating on at the moment. But for me, the wording there still seems kind of vague, and we might not know when exactly this new system is coming out. That's not to say the existing systems may not be deployed in some defensive capability as they stand. So anyway, as a final thought, I think the stock is set for a continued recovery at the moment. Whether a run to $20 is possible at the moment, to me, at present, it seems like a difficult task. While the company is heading towards a bit more of a military focus through their R&D program, we do not have any solid guidance for when this next phase will be launched. If they were going to be ready to release the new system this year, I'm sure they would have included a date in the February presentation. Also, it is worth noting that part of this direction is geared to being one of low production. So to state this all a little more clearly, I think there is some recovery from the stock coming on the back of being technically oversold and the company happening to find itself in a favorable market sector in the current global climate, i.e. positioning themselves as an arms manufacturer during a war. I think they will benefit from a boost in their share price driven by the Russia-Ukraine tensions. However, whatever benefits this brings to the share price will be short-lived unless there are more concrete developments about the military-specific stage 2 of the company's growth strategy released sooner rather than later. Still, I think it makes for a compelling play if you are looking at it as a potential longer-term play, though I would be taking a more thorough look at the state of their books and the state of their competition before making any such move personally if I were to. Not that this is investing advice. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Nano Dimension stock? Do you know any more about the company's developments in the military space? How much higher do you think this current rally in the stock will last? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If there is a stock you'd like me to take a look at, drop a ticker symbol in the comments below and I will see what I can do. Until next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favour. Cheers.